What's up, BBT? I'm going to take you through a trade in the stock trading simulator on BBY, not to be confused with BBBY, because those get very confusing sometimes. This is Best Buy, not Bed Bath & Beyond. So they had a positive news catalyst. I believe it was last week. I think the date, the 3rd. I don't know what day it is anymore. So they beat their earnings, and what we can see in the pre-market is that we've got this nice push up, right? So they pushed up in the pre-market. Every time that it shot down, someone bought back up or covered or something. So there seems to be quite a bit of strength here. And then if I zoom it out to the daily chart, I've already put a level there, but let me just show you really quick. So I like this sort of rectangle here. I want to pick like the most kind of consolidated area where there's the most going on, right? So I see this happening, and these areas I see as basically false breakouts. So I like what's happening in here. So I'm very interested in the bottom of this and the top of this. And what I see in the pre-market is we're basically sitting right around that level. This is the bottom level, 107-ish, 18-ish. I just kind of picked something within the vicinity, right? So if I bring it over to the 1 minute, I can also see that there is a little bit of a range. So after we pushed up here, there is a little bit of a range that was set below this level. So when you're zoomed out on the daily chart and you're not quite sure if like your level is exact enough on higher time frames, you can use the smaller time frames to find a range that's a little bit closer, and then you can get a little bit more dialed into it as well. The level seems to be pretty close here, so I'm just going to leave it at 107.18. And then what I would be looking at, it could be a positive news catalyst and the stock totally sells off for the day. Like, you just never know, right? It could be a negative news catalyst and the stock just pops up. So what I really just want to see is on this news with this stock in play, how is it responding to this higher time frame level now that we're there? So if it loses the bottom of this range that it's set below 107.18, I would maybe be interested in it as a short, but we do have a lot of this happening over here. So I am a little bit more interested in it as a long. It also kind of depends on what the market is doing and stuff too. But so I just want to see how it reacts mostly kind of in these areas. So we'll just hit play on this bad boy and let's get this queued up. We're just going to be ballers today. We're going to take 1,000 shares of this because it's a simulator and that's good times. All right, so here we go. We've got, decent volume coming into the open, and it's at the bottom of the range. It seems to be holding, so that's always good. Let's take it over to the 5 minute. Go. All right. So we're still just like in this range, right? We haven't broken out of this at this level. We haven't broken below it. We're just hanging out. We're hanging out together. We're watching the stock. We're making memories. So we'll just kind of watch it for a second. And we've got decent volume coming into as it pushes down, but it still seems to be holding here. And again, I'm not necessarily biased to the long side with good news because that can always work against you, right? Can always be, factored into the price already. But with all those wicks in the pre-market and the good news catalyst at this level, I am a little bit more interested in it as a long. And the fact that it's holding the bottom of this range. So we're just hanging out, watching it. And you guys can obviously speed up your YouTube channel. I could go to 10 times speed, but I don't want to miss it as it plays the level. So let's just wait. All right, so as we're pushing up to this level, we're getting volume that's coming in. So that's always very interesting. I want to see it break though. So we're just pushing. Hasn't broken it yet. All right, so I see it break after some decent volume, and it pulled back a tiny bit. You can see, and then it pushed again. So to me, this is good. I would be watching the tape as well to make sure some stuff is coming through. We can hit play and just see what the tape does. Yeah, I've definitely got some bigger orders that are printing above this area, right? So these orders are printing and the price is still, moving to the top side. So that's always good. So I'm just going to hit play and I'm going to buy in. Your stop could be, below this, directly below this level. It could be below the bottom of this candle. you could use 10% of the ATR. You could give yourself a wide stop on this as well, and put it at the bottom of this range, whatever you're comfortable with, really. So I would basically be waiting to make sure it holds this level, and then just kind of see how it reacts. If it comes back down to this level, I definitely will reevaluate, but right now it's still pushing. And I see in the pre-market, we have this area, and that's probably going to be some sort of resistance. And then we can look at the higher time frame as well. So we're just watching this push, and you can see, there's pretty good volume that's just kind of sustained, right? It's just sustained volume as this is pushing. So that's great to see. I'll be interested in taking a partial probably around 110. It's this area right here. Hopefully it gets there. Come on, little buddy. We are pushing. It seems to be struggling a little bit though, so we're in quite heavy here. So I'm just gonna take half off. And of course I take half off and then it pushes, right? That's what happens with every stock. And then I'd be looking at the top of this, and then if it breaks the top of this, then we could be looking for another push to the top side. And yeah, I would just ride it out. As long as you don't get stopped out, my stop would now be at break even. So we would just keep on pushing along. Let's just speed this up a little bit. Oh, we sped it up, and we would have definitely been stopped out on this drop here. But as you can see, it got bought back up. You can see it over here on the 5 minute, bought back up. So if you do get stopped out on something like this, and it doesn't give you an opportunity to re-enter here, but you still see that the stock is strong. I mean, look at all this volume that came in as it pushed up. You can now look for an intraday range to play off of. So if you wanted to get back into this, and you weren't waiting for this level, you could see this intraday range that's set up. So you could wait for it to break this for another entry for the ride, or you could wait for it to break this, play it back here, definitely take a partial here because this is a very key level, or wait for it to break down, get back in. So we would be stopped out of this by now, but let's just see what happens. So it did push up quite a bit after that. You can see that after this wick came down here, we held the bottom of this. When we broke the top of the range, we rode it some more. It looks like probably to the a little bit past that high in the pre-market. So, and then we reversed, came back down almost to this level. So yeah, definitely some good pushes today on this guy. Good earnings catalyst, broke through a key level on the daily chart, and lots of little waves to ride on this. So hopefully you guys learned something, and if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up anytime. Happy to respond to emails, Megan@variabletraders.com, and that's MEGAN. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.